Let's talk a bit about the kind of the dwell, the dwell time. And first of all, maybe define that and why is that important and how we can use that to our advantage.
I can't wait. This is my favorite part. Um, so remember when I said earlier that as an attacker, I only have to be right once, and you as a defender have to be right every time. So that makes us that means you as a defender need to be perfect. What we need to do is turn that paradigm around on the attacker. So once that initial compromise happens, so once, if you think of things in terms of the cyber kill chain, after that you're going to have this initial compromise piece. So when that happens, that adversary needs to have really good tradecraft, right? He needs to be really, really quiet. If he trips an IOC, an indicator of compromise that we can monitor, we can detect that. We can kick him out of the network. We can find out what his command and control is. We can block his command and control. We can do these things that will frustrate him to make him try to have to re-get that beachhead again and make that initial compromise. And when you do that enough times, they're just going to go away, right? So now what you want to do is you're going to take, once they've gotten into your network, those tables turn. Now he has to be perfect. The adversary has to be perfect, and he can't be perfect, right? So we want to use that advantage use that time that they're getting in the network to our advantage. So dwell time is that time between that initial compromise that happens on a network and the detection of that compromise, and that it's a long time, right? Unfortunately, according to IBM, it's 287 days. That's a huge amount of time, right? Like if you have an adversary in your network for 287 days, active adversary, you need to buy an infrastructure. But it really just comes to the point of there's different groups doing different things, right? There's a group that's doing that initial compromise. They're going to sell that access to somebody else who's going to do the ransomware. They're going to buy the ransomware as a service, those sorts of things. But that whole time that they're in the network till you detect them, and usually that detection is a call from the FBI or a ransom note on your screen, right? That's the detection mechanism they have. That's our time to shine. That's our time to be able to detect and frustrate and do those things. And if you put enough if you're monitoring enough indicators of compromise in your network, you can detect them relatively quickly. So you can take things from that 287 days and take it down to a minute or an hour or even a day. If you could detect and respond to things that quickly, things that would end up in being a very bad day, as in my business is shut down because I'm ransom, turn into a minor inconvenience, right? Oh, I need to patch the server. I need to change this password. I need to change a configuration or whatever the case may be. But it's not a huge expense, and it's not business ending. It's just a minor inconvenience. So that's why dwell time is so important. If you can use that time that the adversaries are on your network to your advantage, to detect and respond to that intrusion very, very quickly.